didn't run until I stopped, I think, at Cottbus, a town, a larger railroad station, which must have been late because this whole shooting started at noon, but it was already getting dark. And naturally, the first direction is towards the railroad station because you know everything about it. I know how the German railroad operates. And I went to the railroad station and found a empty boxcar train going towards Berlin. It's written on it to Berlin. Those were the trains that the Russians sent to take the machinery from Germany to Russia. You know, they were taking whole factories out of East Germany. So I got into the boxcar, locked myself in, empty boxcar for myself, and say, I hope the train doesn't stop now. It didn't until it arrived in East Berlin. In East Berlin, I jumped out of the boxcar and went for the same hiding place. And my memory, the mental pressure and everything is a little faint, but I found the place, and from then on I was told by the apartment owners. I came to the door, they opened the door, and I fell flat on my face on the floor. They carried me to bed, and I woke up on Thursday morning from Sunday. On Thursday morning, I woke up in that bed. I don't know what happened in the other 3 days. Either I had nervous breakdown or something. I didn't know, but they said that I was alive, so they kept me there.
At that time, was the Berlin Wall already up?
No. And well, at that age, you recover fast. A little bread with cucumbers on it, a little black coffee. Where do you want to go? Get me the ticket to the last station towards the British zone. They got me the ticket, and by morning, next day, 5 o'clock, I was on the railroad station going to the British zone. Naturally, I jump out of the train before, walk through the woods, through the Black Forest. This time I was experienced, I knew how. And I see the big welcome sign, British zone of Germany. Don't cross. Naturally, I crossed nicely, got to my unit without any accident, and I say never again. I had to consider that I'm just completely ignorant, stupid. How can I go across Europe with a rucksack on my back, with all the armies?
Basically cut in half.
Yeah.
You went right across.
Yeah. So I arrived back in my unit, and I consider myself never again. Whatever happens, there must be another way. Okay. Naturally, the guys in the unit, they consider me a hero because I survived. Just living, that was enough. What happened in between? That's normal. You don't talk about it. You are alive.
Just for that, you're a hero. Yeah.
You are a hero. So, being a hero, I recovered. I went to my job in the class and continued and waited for information from Poland, what happened. It was long in coming, But the letters were encouraging. She got finally, after a month or two, she got home, and she was home with John. And I recovered from the ordeal. The time was passing. There was no chance to get anybody from Poland. By the end of 1946, if they caught anybody trying to cross the border from Russia to Britain, to West Germany, that was execution on the spot. They shot them right there where they found them. So it was impossible. I get a letter from Clara that she's now ready to travel. That changes everything. Never again, never happened. This time, of course, I told my guys in the unit and the officers, he says, guys, never say never. I'm going. It's December now. Oh, you are going. They never dared to go. They had children and wives in Poland. So everybody that could give me a name and address of a wife where she lives in Poland, they were all by now in correspondence. And if you can bring my wife, and I have two daughters, one is 5, one is 7, bring them over. And nobody talks about paying for it or anything. So I got a bunch of those addresses, put it in my pocket, did the same thing as I did the first time. And apparently I got experience of one trip. I went right through to Poland without any hitch, the same way. Nobody caught me.
Walk over the border, then get on a
Yeah.
train on the eastern side.
And everything. I went through the river and nobody caught me there. And again went to the same hiding places. I had the stages. And this time Clara...
Did you see the same people in East Berlin? Where you
Yes,
stayed?
the same people. I don't know what we did, what I did for them, but everybody was on the black market. So for some reason, there was a kind of a connection. And they were living there. And again, and you got the tickets, went smooth. And being encouraged, I just almost went in a limousine to Poland. Clara came and John came this time to see me. It was not at our home, it was about 10 miles away. And John says, "That's my uncle." Because the first time I was introduced as his uncle.
What was that like when you were first introduced to him? When you had come before and Clara was in the hospital?
Yeah.
When he was introduced, you were introduced as his uncle. What was that like for you?
Well, the details, it's hard to remember. There was a lot of kissing and soft stuff and everything, and tears. But the details are, after that many years, are hard to remember.
Okay, sorry. Let's go back to the.
Yeah. So Clara came, visited me, and I gave her an address of a motel in Poznań, that is northern Poland, and some money. I say, just pack yourself, but don't take anything with you, like you were just traveling to the next town. Don't try to take a suitcase or anything. She